What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello. Alrighty, we in business. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another stream here with Vlad the Noob. Welcome. Alrighty. It's time for us to fly. Gotta say, I don't know what is going on, but I'm so sleepy. I can't even. Well, don't matter. Let's go find out what it's gonna be like today when I try to fly the MD-11F from Taoyuan International Airport in Taipei City. From Taoyuan, we're gonna head on over to Xiamen in China, a place I've never actually flown into, if I can remember that correctly. So yeah, yesterday I tried to fly the MD-11F on X-Plane 12 and it crashed. Yes, I tried to fly the MD-11F and it crashed right before landing. The sim crashed right before landing. Now I am guessing that crash happened because of map replacement, something that has given me issues before. So I have reinstalled my AutoOrtho, which has literally taken me 6.5 hours to do, to download all of it and get that sorted out. So yeah, couldn't do any prep work for this particular stream. Sorry. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm already getting loopy from a lack of sleep at this point, but we're gonna go in here and do what we can do. I'm just extremely sleepy for some reason today. I don't know what is going on. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be sporting the EVA Air cargo that we're seeing, the beautiful MD-11F. It's a very nice aircraft. It's a fun one to fly around, to be honest with you. It's very fun to fly. It is, and I really want to get this at MSFS. One of the things I want to do going forward with flight simming is to compare the two simulators. That is, to buy the same aircraft in both the simulators and to compare them. You know what I mean? So that is something I really want to do. That is something I really want to do. I'm just looking at my CPU temperatures here, and they're pretty high. They are pretty high. That is interesting. That is interesting. Got much higher temperatures than I do usually with MSFS running. So that's interesting here from Explain 12. GPU is just fine, but it's actually pretty cool, to be honest. But the CPU is not doing well. It's actually pretty hot. Hot. But anyway. Alright. That's enough riff-raffing from me. Let's go ahead and jump into this lovely aircraft where there's a little bit of a drizzle going on. There's not live time, obviously. I'm using historic live weather. I think this is like a year old for some reason. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Conditions as of 12 months ago at 2:08. We're using historic weather. So yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this, but that's how I'm playing it today. So we're just gonna go with it. Let's go ahead, start this up. Weight and balance, ground ops. Let's request our ground service there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get the external power on.
Autopilot.
There we go. Battery on. Nav. There we go. That can go on. This can go on. That can go to armed. We're looking good. Yes, we are. Okay. I think that pretty much gets us ready, right? Yeah, it does. We're not going to start the APU just yet, so let's go down here and set up our weights. Let me have a look at what we are looking at in terms of weights here today. In terms of weight, our total payload for the day, cargo, is 143,700. So fairly heavy, but not... yeah, fairly heavy. Block fuel for the day, 40,944. Taxi fuel is almost always 2,000 in Simbri for some reason. Our trip fuel for the day is supposed to be 15,294. Let's put that in. Why are we carrying so much fuel? I don't know. Alright, all of that is set up right here. We don't want any ballast fuel or ballast tank. Ground ops, let's go ahead and request our fuel service and our aircraft there as well. Okay, so if we come outside, we can see that our loading is about to begin. And this thing is floating over this. For some reason, this always happens. So the ground service is a little bit messed up for this particular aircraft. It's a little floaty. So yeah, there we go. We are getting that. Yeah. And it's fairly quick here, as you can tell. I think I have it on quick, right? Let me see. Do I have this on quick? Why is it so quick? Why is the loading so fast? Why is the loading so fast? Je ne comprends pas. I don't know. I don't know why the loading is so fast today. Alrighty, we're gonna get back in here. So weight and balance is done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Our weight and balance is done. We got that coming to life. Let's come down here. FMC1. Flight plan in it. We are flying from RCTP to ZSAM. Like so. Okay. Our alternate for today. Good lord. Wait. I'm so sorry. Hold on. We got a problem. I think those weights are wrong. Yeah, those weights are wrong. I need to get the right weights in here. Give me a second. I'll figure this out right now. Ooh. RCTP. Figure those weights out right now. ZSAM. There we go. Pounds and the MD-11 and the rotate and all of that good stuff. Alright, let's generate a new flight there. Let me close that up. Okay, good. I knew that trip fuel didn't make any sense. Okay, we're back in with a new load here, which is lighter today. 135,700 is what we're going with today. And our block fuel is more. It is 41,996. Okay. And if we look at our PDF, trip fuel is 21,583. That makes a bit more sense, I guess. Apply these. Okay. So we're going to request that, and I think we're going to apply this as well. So there you go. That's good enough for us today. RCTP, ZSAM, and our alternate today is ZSFZ. I don't even know which airport that is. Never heard of it in my life. I'm going to put it in anyway. We're just going to go with that. Our cruising altitude for today is 34,000 feet. Very high. Okay, that is fine. I'm not going to do anything else here. Cost index is 50. Let's do that 50 right there. Initialize that IRS. And there we go. Okay, good. Let's come back in here. That is set correctly as far as I'm concerned. Yes, it is. Let's go to the next page. Refuel quantity today basically 42. So let's put that in right there. Done. Flight plan. RCTP. Okay, let's try and input this flight plan here, which is going to take us a while here. RCTP first, we are going to go to Chali, which is the end of our departure procedure for today. Chali, 46 nautical miles from here, obviously. Then we've got airway T3. And we're going to go all the way to MKG. And then from there, we're going to use airway A1. Would you believe that? To Anpog. Anpog. From Anpog, we're going to use R200. And we're going to go towards Aldid. Now at Aldid, I think we have an option to go up to flight level 34100. Okay, that's not really something I'm interested in. From Aldid, we're going to use R200. Oh, yeah, okay, fine, I get it. R200 to Lapog, R200, okay. So it's all the way R200 to Bebem. So Bebem is what I'm supposed to put in here, okay? Now A470 all the way to T-Bone or Tebben. It's actually Tebben. I don't know why I said T-Bone. Tebben, and from there that's where we ended. So there we go. Insert that flight plan. There's a discontinuity there. Let's go to our RCTP. Our SID today is going to be Charlie 1 Bravo. I'm gonna put that in, and we're gonna use runway 23 left for our takeoff. Insert that. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Nice and easy, right? This is fairly nice and easy. There we go. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? Okay, that is done. Now let's go all the way down to ZSAM, and let's come to our landing here. Runway 05, but hopefully there's an ILS at runway 05. There is. Runway 05 Z ILS, we'll pick that up. And for arrival, we're going to use Tebo 8 X-ray. Where is Tebo 8 X-ray? We don't have Tebo 8 X-ray. That is interesting. We do not have Tebo 8 X-ray available to us, but we do have Tebo 1 Alpha, and I think we should go with Tebo 1 Alpha. So let's take that. Let's insert that. Let's go to the flight plan here. and we'll have a look. There is a discontinuity here. We're gonna clear that, and there you go. That should get our flight plan running nice and easy, right? All right, that seems like it works. There you go. FMS speed on that, nav on that. That's all seems to be working there. This, yep, we're good here. Everything seems to be working exactly how it should. What is our runway heading for the day? We just need to look at that. Our runway heading for the day. So runway heading for the day is going to be out of RCTP. The heading for 23 left is 234. So let us insert 234 into that. There you go. That's done. That's our runway heading, and everything is looking good. We're gonna uncage that. Looking good. We can go up here and get started with our APU. And I'm gonna wait for APU to start up right here. Perfect. Okay. Okie dokie. Tebo 1 Alpha is the one that we're using today as well. So there you go. That is okay. I'm going to show you guys our route today on little nav map, so you guys understand a little better what exactly is going on. So let me bring up a little nav map here. It is extremely tiny in X-Plane 12 for me because what happens is the resolution changes for because I play X-Plane at 2K, not 4K. Unfortunately, there's no way for X-Plane to not change the resolution of my entire display while it launches, so yeah. Okay, so we're here at Taoyuan International. We're going to take off using that departure procedure right there. Fly over the water right here, come back in there into Xiamen City right here. There we go. So there's our arrival and there's our landing into the ILS, runway 05, nice and easy. Okay, so there it is. Not an overly complicated flight plan today. Gonna put that away for now. Gonna put that away for now, ladies and gentlemen. Good. Good. All of that is done. APU power is available. Let's go to our overhead here. Turn on APU, turn on the packs. Here, there we go. That is done. Okay. Good. We're gonna take care of the defog in just a second. Let's go ahead and pre-plan our pushback. I would rather push back this way. Right here is where I would like our aircraft to be. There we go.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Plan acknowledged. Plan acknowledged. Okay. Looks good. I think we look good. For some reason I was streaming and recording at the same time using my OBS. I'd probably put a little bit extra load on the CPU there as well. Yeah. I keep doing some silly things, huh? Anyway, whatever. Let me decrease the range on that. We're looking good here. We can go ahead and request pushback if we want to, because why not, right? Let's request pushback and get ourselves out of here, ladies and gentlemen, without further delay. So let's do that. Pushback, please. Start pushback.
Tow is driving up.
All right. Let's go to the tablet and dismiss all of this stuff. There you go. Gonna wait for our pushback to attach and get ourselves started with our push. Alrighty. Very lonely day here today in my chat. There is nobody around. Which is fascinating. Nobody around in the chat today. So far, at least. I think I'm a little early. Am I a little early? Just I'm so sleepy. I couldn't hold on. Couldn't hold on, man. Anyway.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, you go ahead and do that, ma'am. You do that, ma'am. Ma'am. Boeing MD-11 freighter. Boeing McDonnell Douglas 11 freighter. Okay. Interesting. Our nose is gonna get raised. Better Pushback is the best pushback application that I know. It's also better than the GSX pushback in MSFS.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Releasing parking brake. There you go.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Alright, thank you very much. There we go. We're gonna put that over there. And we're gonna go up here. Beacon lights can come to on. Thank you very much. Let's go engine ignition on. Is there anything else we need to do here before our engine start? No, everything, all the fuel systems are being managed automatically by the aircraft. We do not need to worry about it. Alright, engine number 3, let's go. There we go, N2 rising. N2 rising, everybody. Come in here. We're at 15. Let's go flick that open. Look at that. Look at the wetness on the surface. Really cool. Very cool. I feel like the views have changed a little bit. Why is it so zoomed out? That's MSFS crap. I want it in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're pretty much ready to go on this engine. Let's go do the same thing with engine number 2. Alright. We can use the auxiliary hydraulic pump just to give us a little bit hydraulic power if we want to set up something, but we're not going to do that just yet. We can just wait for engine start. Alright. Alright, we are pretty much good to go on that one. Engine number 3. Let's go. Alrighty, waiting for some more N2 here.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
There you go. Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Well, thank you very much. Alright, everybody. Everything looking good so far? Okay. Engine's good. Let's go up here. Ignition, we can just switch it. That can come off. APU can go to off. These will take care of themselves automatically. Their defog can go on there. We're looking good. You can go to
Cell is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
all right, thank you very much. Goodbye. Hello there, EM. I think you try new TFDI updated MD-11. I would like to try it, yeah, but I need to purchase the aircraft. Definitely need to purchase the aircraft. I think I would like to compare how they feel in X-Plane 12, the Rotate MD-11, and I'd like to compare that with the TFDI MD-11 and MSFS. I'd like to make a nice little comparison between the two. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. So yeah, maybe I will try it. Maybe I will try it, EM. Okay, all of that is looking good. Let's put our auto brake to RTO. Let's arm that. This isn't something you need to do per se, the arming of the spoilers, but I think I like to keep it like this, right? I think so. Flaps can go down to our takeoff position of 15 here. It's supposed to be somewhere near 15. So let's put flap right here at 15. Let's go up here. We got taxi light on. There we go. X-plane drops out too much from sessions. What do you mean? Are you talking about the crashing? Like we had on the last stream, we had a nice crash. I think I fixed the issue. I believe it was the map replacement causing that. So I've replaced the map replacement with AutoOrtho. So let's see how that goes. Alright, let's put this on system 1. We'll put it to weather in a bit. But for now we're okay. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I have figured out how to work the nose wheel tiller properly. I just had to select this option here, hardware controller tiller, and that's all I had to do. Okay, let's turn that off. I forgot how to hide the tablet, if at all you can. I'm not sure you can, but yeah. Alrighty, we do have to cross an active well, it's not exactly active, I don't have any traffic, but X-plane does have its moments, you know. By far it's more satisfying to fly on X-plane because it's more realistic. The aircrafts just feel more realistic in X-plane. Graphic wise, yes, it's not the best in the world, but it has its moments where X-plane looks amazing, to be honest. And X-plane 12 really does look good. There is no denying it. I mean, check this out. Look at that. Just look at that, especially with all the stuff that I'm running. Like, I'm running a lot of enhancements. I'm running SimHeaven. I'm running AutoOrtho. I'm also using Airport Enhancement Pack. I'm using Global Forests. So there's a couple of stuff that I'm doing that's making this look so much better. Yes, but still, this is incredible. Especially for a default airport. You can never get such an experience in a default airport in MSFS, you know what I mean? So that is one of those things. Okay, let's turn right here. MD-11, everybody. The ground handling on X-plane is impeccable. Flight models are impeccable. It's a better flight simulator, but MSFS is a better flight simulation game. There you go. That's the reason why I still keep coming back to let me turn off our weather for now. I'll just turn it on right before takeoff. So there you go. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go here, aren't we? Why don't we have the green box? Ah, it's because our stabilizer is not yet ready. What's going on? It's interesting. Why isn't our stabilizer showing us where we need to be? That's interesting. I have no idea why that's happening. We don't have the green box for takeoff. That's interesting. What? Oh, goodness me. I've forgotten a very important part of our setup. Yeah, I've forgotten a very important part of our setup here, ladies and gentlemen. The performance part of it. There you go. That's why things are off. We need to set this up, but that's okay. This is something we can do on the fly as we're moving, so it's not that big of a deal. So it is not that big of a deal. Okay, so I need to open up. I'll hold short for a second. And you know what? I'll just pump the brakes. I'll pump the brakes here. Obviously, the aircraft is going to roll on its own, but that's okay. So I'm going to go to my sim brief one more time and let's take a look at the takeoff stuff. Let's go. Flex today is selected temperature 59, so let's go 59 on the flex right there. Packs off flap 15 today, right? Yes, it is. What else? Slope. Runway slope is pretty much 0. So up 0 slash... Oh, we need to clear that. Flaps. Entry out of range. What are you talking about? Flaps 15, man. Oh, there you go, flaps 15. Then we need our... Yeah, the slope of the thing. Okay, let me take a look at that. Let me take a look at that. Okay, our runway slope is 0.09, so that means it is up 0.1. Okay, slash our headwind component for the day. It's actually not a headwind, it's a tailwind. Ooh. Tailwind of 1 knot, right? Wait, what did I just do? Did I just press the wrong button? Yes, I did. My bad, ladies and gentlemen. Up 0.1 slash, I think, tailwind of 1. Oh, we're supposed to put only headwind, so it's HD minus 1. There we go. That's I think. I'm not sure. Oh lordy. Okay, I'm gonna eat. I need to work on this taxiing here. I think what I'll do is I'll pump the brakes a little bit for us. Yep, there we go. Let's try and do this one more time. Let's go up 0.1 slash tailwind 1. Is that how you do it? Yeah, that works. There you go. Tailwind of 1 there. Confirm V speeds. I think they're okay. If I take a look at my V speeds here, yeah, they're significantly lower though than what I would want to see. But hey, we're okay. I guess we're okay. All right, now we're good for takeoff. We've got that green right there. See that? If you have that green box, you're ready for takeoff. Pretty much. And there is a takeoff go around button, I think. Not so sure. Yeah, we're looking much better now. Okay, let's put our stabilizer trim here to where we want it to be, somewhere in the middle for takeoff. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've made a mistake. I should have turned around right here. That's okay, we're not too late. This aircraft has a long... Look at that. So we've got plenty of room there. We're not too late at all. The nose gear is quite a way behind the pilot's actual seat. So we're good to go here. Well full. I recently bought the Tolis A319 and Rotate MD-80 together. We'll master them one by one. Well, that sounds fantastic, man. Sorry I missed your chat. I was busy looking at my performance information there for SimBrief. My apologies about that. I was just But yeah, I'm back in. I see what you mean. The tallest A319, from what I've heard, is pretty good. From what I've heard, it is pretty good. Okay, we've got our trim pretty much ready. There we go. We are ready for takeoff, ladies and gentlemen. Looking good. The MD-80, the Rotate MD-80 is an aircraft I've been wanting to buy for a while, because MD-80 is an aircraft I'm really interested in flying. I really like it, but I've not been able to get my hands on the MD-80 yet. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. I really want the MD-80 too. I do want to buy the MD-80. Lots of aircraft to buy these days. My god, I got lots and lots in my mind. But it's pretty difficult to decide which one to buy and to allocate funds effectively, you know what I mean? Okay, here we are. We're about to turn off onto our runway. I'm not gonna waste too much time today trying to line up and all that stuff. So let's just go directly to takeoff there. Let's go directly to landing light there. Why not? Let's go high intensity on this. Let's put all of this lights on there. Good. Let's pump our brakes. There we go. Let's also put our TCAS up there. We'll make that turn. Oh, that's a little late, but that's okay. There we go. Like I said, the nose gear of this aircraft is much behind the pilot seat, so we're okay. We're okay. Although it looks like we're going off into the grass, we're not. We're really not. Like, imagine that. Even at this angle, we're not going into the grass. That's crazy, isn't it? Okay, weather radar on. We're gonna put that on weather, and as a matter of fact, I'm gonna leave this yep, on weather. Good. Let's go profile on that. Let's line up with the runway and get out of here. Well, full indeed, man. Payware aircraft hit different. I've been trying to learn the VOR DME approaches with my Airbus recently. Not going too well so far. Is that right? You're having trouble with VOR DME approaches with your Airbus? Ah. I do have a radio navigation tutorial, but that's for the that's for a much more different aircraft. Maybe I should do one on the Airbus A320 or something, right? I can do that with the Phoenix though, because I don't have any Airbuses, any payware Airbuses in X-Plane 12, so I could do that with the Phoenix for you. Maybe I can make a little tutorial for the VOR DME approach. Yeah. Okay, soon as the channel grows, we're gonna have some exciting stuff coming up. I don't want to announce them too early, but it's gonna come up. It's gonna be pretty cool. I believe we're ready for takeoff. Everything's set here. Everything's set as it should. Everything's set as it should. Looking good, looking good. What light is off? Our logo lights are off. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on. Why not? You say I would appreciate a lot, man, either as a tutorial or one of your live streams. The whole DME and chart stuff confuse a lot, especially when you're used to something easier like ILS. Ah, okay. All right, I will do it. I'll do a tutorial on VOR DME. I can't promise you exactly when it's gonna come out, but I'll definitely do a tutorial on VOR DME. The only thing is I don't have Navigraph. I use default charts all the time. But yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. VOR DME, it's been something that I've been wanting to do on an aircraft like an A320 anyway, so I'll get around to that. So yeah. All right, let me try the takeoff button. Does that work? Doesn't do anything. There is a condition for it to engage though, so I don't know what it is. Yeah, I guess I don't know what it is. Anyway, let's just go ahead and do manual takeoff here. Thrust set. So VOR DME. I'm actually going to write that down so I don't forget that. And yeah, I need to do the tutorial now. We're looking good. Use the rudder to keep this under control, which it is. Time to rotate. Okay, gear up. Still my aircraft. Flying pretty well. There we go. There we go. Nice and easy. We can give it up to the autopilot now if we want to, but just getting a little bit of a feel for the aircraft. One of the issues I have with this aircraft is I need a lot of input. My sensitivity is a little messed up for this particular aircraft. I need a lot of input to make things happen. So that's not very good. Like if I want to make this turn, I have to put my stick all the way to the right to even have a hope of making that turn. That's a little too much, you know, it's a little extreme there. But yeah, we're doing well here. We can just give it off to the autopilot. Let's go auto flight. That would be appreciated. Thanks. The MD-11F looks great, by the way, and XP12's physics make it seem much better than the last MSFS stream of you I watched. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I'll definitely get around to it, man. The VORDME tutorial, I'm gonna do it. I need to follow up on my radio navigation tutorial anyway, so might as well do that.
Stabilizer motion.
Increase that, and we're gonna increase the range on these. Put that back down. Put that back to... oh lordy, come on. See, the thing with the physics in XP12 is so much better. So much better than anything in MSFS.
Stabilizer motion.
Flaps up to 0. Slats are still out. There we go. Can put this to off. Can put this to off. There you go. Slat retracted. Slats are going up. Everything else here is looking good. We're climbing out to 10,000 feet first, and then to our cruising altitude of 34,000 feet, I believe. But yeah, it is just better on X-Plane 12. It's just that I've been having a bit of an issue with X-Plane 12. I messed up some of my custom scenery folder, so check that out. We have very bad visibility at the moment, so we're not able to see much using our views as we fly out of here. You say the overhead panel seems huge and the weather is a bit foggy, I guess. Yeah, the weather is pretty bad right now. Okay, 10,000 feet reached. Let's just go straight up towards 34,000 feet. Okay, so let's do that here, if it will. Okay, profile to... oh wait. Okay, let's do that and then press profile. Oh, so one of the things about this aircraft I still haven't figured out is the exact button combination that's required. Yeah, so that is something I haven't figured out on this. Yep, there you go. So I just needed to... yeah, there you go. We're okay. We're okay. The overhead panel isn't particularly large. I know it looks very complicated on the MD-11, but to be honest with you, it isn't. Because you've got the option here to use it manually or automatically. Now, if you put it on automatic, the aircraft manages a lot of stuff for you, like an Airbus. That's the funny part. This MD-11 manages a lot more stuff for you automatically when compared to the 737. Right, and they're both Boeing aircraft, so that is one of the good parts about this. Now, if you want to manually control it, you can obviously switch it off here as well, so you have that option too. But a lot of these buttons, you don't really need to worry about them too much. It's a fairly simple aircraft to operate, to be honest. It just has a few things that might throw you off here and there, but why are we climbing so steeply like there's no tomorrow? Why are we doing that? I don't get it. But the aircraft has decided to do that. Yeah. It wants to be at 30,000 feet at what? Yeah, there is a little bit of an issue there, isn't there? I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna let the aircraft do its thing as we climb out at 34,000 feet. This aircraft is quick. A little too quick, but yeah. Can go ahead and turn off all these lights here. We don't need these either. I'm leaving them on for the sake of our own visibility. There you go. Looks great. Yep, we're out of here. To be honest, I noticed the button placements being too similar with the Airbus as well. Nice aircraft there. Yes, it is. It is. This is this MD-11 aircraft is in particular is like a cross between the Airbus and Boeing systems. So it's actually pretty nice. It is pretty nice. It's a fun aircraft to fly. It's very interesting, and when landing it really does give you a thrill, because this thing is not easy to land. But it's very satisfying flight. In X-Plane 12 especially, because you know it's much more realistic. Finally out of the clouds indeed. We are definitely out of the clouds now, so we can go ahead and take a look at some of these views right there. Those clouds don't look very friendly. They look like smoke. I guess there is a little bit more work needed on these clouds. See, I do have Visual XP. I downloaded Visual XP and I have Visual XP, but I removed it. I stopped using it because of the performance issue it used to give me. I don't know if I should give it another shot. I'm a little weary about trying out a new configuration. X-Plane 12 is very, very sensitive. Let's see if we can see ourselves from the... No, there's no chance today. It's just too foggy. It's just too overcast, too many clouds, no chance. But yeah, we're climbing out nice and peaceful. There you go. Very, very nice. Seems you're doing a short route, right? I guess long cruises are kind of boring no matter how much monitoring you try to add without VATSIM. Yes, that is correct. There, on my streams, I have to keep all flights. The maximum I can go on a flight is 1 hour 15 minutes of flying time, and that is with fast forward. So even with a short route, I still have to fast forward it. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just gonna... There isn't much else for you to do during the cruise part of it. Unless, of course, we're doing like a GA flight or a fighter stunt flight or something like that in MSFS, then it's different. But if we're doing an airline flight, most of the time, that's what it is. And I don't fly on VATSIM, so there isn't much else to do. I don't think I would enjoy VATSIM, but that's definitely something I have to give a try for, right? I mean, you have to give VATSIM a try, so it's definitely something I will do at some point. But I'm someone who prefers to fly without VATSIM. I would love some kind of ATC. Say Intentions, unfortunately, is a subscription model, and it's pretty pricey, and I don't want ATC that bad. You know what I mean? I would rather spend that money on some other aircraft or something. I do want to get Beyond ATC. Beyond ATC, to be honest, is a good balance for me for MSFS. Just the right amount of chatter, you know, just something in the background. That's enough for me personally when it comes to ATC. But yeah, we're looking good here though. Just one final quick look into the cockpit to make sure everything is going okay. I don't know why we are climbing out like madmen and why we have so much performance. 34,000, okay. Okay, it seems like everything is under control here. Yeah, our route is very short here today. Our Taupo descent will be coming up. Yeah, not too long at all. Okay, looking good. Can now go enjoy some cinematic views of the particular aircraft. Can turn off this logo light, we don't really need it. To be honest, your thinking is solid. ATC kind of unnecessary if you're not gonna do long cruises anyway. Yeah, it's not. Unless you're doing extremely long cruises and you need something to keep you occupied and whatever. It doesn't make it. Like, I don't have the kind of viewers or the kind of active chat where, you know, I can keep myself engaged and the viewers engaged for over long flights. It's not going to happen anyway. So there's no point of having ATC. Now, if you have that kind of viewers on your stream, then it kind of makes sense. Maybe you want to look at some ATC options. But for these short flights, the way I'm doing them, nah. No need yet. But I will consider getting Beyond ATC at one point. At some point. But yeah, with all the purchases pending, it's rough to squeeze that in there, so I have to be strategic. But yeah, at some point I'm gonna get my hands on Beyond ATC and give that a whirl. I'll also get on ZSAM, see how it is, but it's not for me, to be honest. Your channel will grow for sure as well, just takes time. Yeah. Yeah, it does take time. It does take time. It's just about pushing out content over and over, you know. But yeah, working on it. Working on it. Alrighty. There we go. It's time for us to enjoy some cinematic views here. We don't have a lot of time. I'm not going to do fast forwarding just yet for us. Let's just enjoy some views first. And once we're done with that, then we can, oh my lord. I'm displaying the wrong thing. The wrong nav bar layout there. Am I not? Now I've just corrected it. RCTP to ZSAM. I did not notice that until now. By the way, do you use ultra settings for cloud? They look awesome. I use, I'm maxed out. I could show you that really quickly. Hold on. It's not going to affect our flight time that badly, is it? So let me just show you that quickly. The settings I use look like this. Alright? That is what I'm using. I'm maxed out on everything. I just go max out on everything. Everything is maxed out. And in addition to all of that, we've got all the SimHeaven and AutoOrtho and all that good stuff. Airport Enhancement Pack and Global Forests V2, so I've pumped in all of that. Let me tell you something, Wildful, my setup is not good enough for that setting. It's not. Nobody's is for that setting. X-Plane 12 cannot function properly using that. It's just not possible. I'm just being an idiot. If I'm being entirely honest with you, I'm just being kind of, you know, kind of silly with it. There are lots of places in X-Plane 12 where I have issues, some aircrafts where I have issues. It's just, I push it, and occasionally I get crashes as well, you know what I mean? Although they are less to do with graphics, but still, You put a lot of strain on your system trying to run it at those settings. It's not something that I would recommend, to be entirely honest with you. Like if I was just flying without streaming, I only do this so that you guys can get the best quality possible and you can enjoy that. But if I wasn't streaming and I was just flying by myself, I wouldn't fly at these settings. I wouldn't. That's the honest truth right there. I would never fly at these settings. They're too high. They're way too high to make sense. Yeah, I do have those specs. Yeah, I do. 14700K against my Potato i5. GTX 1650 Ti with my 16 GB RAM. Oh, you see, you gotta tune it down for whatever hardware you're running, you know. At the end of the day, you know, if you're not really focused on the visual, like the visual only matters for me because I'm doing the streaming and the videos, right? If you're not trying to do that, then to be honest with you, it's all overkill. It's all overkill. I'll be honest with you. One of the best PC setups that I've ever had, and it was a sweet spot for me, right? It was a sweet spot and everything was running, and I was running graphics not on max, but in a more balanced way. Okay, at the beginning of this channel, this is years ago, when I was first testing around with like posting some stuff on YouTube and whatever, I had a PC that was running a 3070 Ti and like 32 GBs of RAM, half of what I have, 3070 Ti. Still a powerful system, don't get me wrong, and 14700K, but much less than what I have right now. Cost much less as well, right? I would tune the settings in such a way that, yeah, it's not max settings by any means, but you would barely be able to tell. And the performance was so much better that it was worth it. So that was one of the best balances I've ever had, and I've never been able to replicate that. Right? And while there are lots of other things you can do to make your performance go up, you have a lot of stuff to fiddle with. That's the thing, it's very complex. It's not just about chucking in the best hardware you can find and things are not going to work. Like out of the box, my PC, when I first made it and I started running things, it did not go like this, I can tell you that. It did not work like this. If you think you can just like buy a new PC 4090 and you put all of that stuff in, and or 5090, which is the latest, right? If you have a 5090, it makes a huge difference. That does. But let's say you buy something and then you put it together, you just pop it open and you think it's gonna work smooth. It's not. There's so many things to tune. 3070 Ti it is. Yep, 3070 Ti. I had a good card with the 3070 Ti. I had the OC edition from the Tough OC one, Asus, I believe, and it was great. It was one of the best cards that I had. Yeah. I think 3070 Ti is accessible now, right? That one can do a lot of damage. It can really help you. You just need to fine tune the settings. You don't go max on the settings, just find that sweet balance. And most of the time you won't be able to tell the difference, I'm telling you. I am telling you. Yeah. It's a diminishing return kind of thing, you know. Now, playing on a laptop, do you have a PC or you just play on laptops? Because I've never been someone to recommend gaming on laptops. They just don't work out the way how they advertise it, you know. They like to make you believe that it's a pocket PC with a screen and you can just pop it open. That's not how it works. It just doesn't work, man. Inflation makes everything expensive. Yep, it does. Yeah, it does. I mean, the times have become quite tough for us. It's become quite tough for us. Like I'm lucky I managed to get this built like a couple of years ago. If I try to build this PC right now, I wouldn't be able to. I definitely would not be able to at all. And even when I built it a couple of years ago, it was a matter of going broke on the spot. You know what I mean? To be honest, I'm not that unsatisfied. The only bottleneck is my storage, which is barely enough for the default Europe scenery in X-Plane 12. Ah, storage, yes. Now, if you are not... Look, if you don't have a very fast SSD or an NVMe or something of that kind, then that can significantly affect the way how you run flight sim. That is something for sure, man. Yeah, you need to look into storage. An SSD will go a long way for you. It really will. It really does make a huge difference. Okay. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go for a little bit of fast forward so we can come in on our top of descent, which we're going to take a look quickly. Where's our top of descent? Our top of descent is... right here. There's our top of descent. Okay. So we can go and fast forward a little bit so we can come to our top of descent a little quicker. So let's do that. I'm gonna try and fast forward this. At least I'm enjoying Europe for now. It helped me learn a lot since I'm still new to flight simming. But I'll definitely get more space soon. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Man, I think if you think about how I started flight simming on an i5 10 years ago. We're talking about when i7 was the fastest, before i9, I think, if I'm not messing this up. But I started gaming on an i5 Dell Inspiron laptop is where I started flight simming. Yeah, that's where I started flight simming, on an i5 Dell Inspiron laptop. And forget SSD or NVMe or any of that. I used to run flight gear, and I would fly the 777 by Seattle project because it's the only decent one that's actually in flight gear. And I used to fly flight gear. That was my flight simming. That's how I got started in flight simming, man. So trust me, you got it way better than how I started off. We all start somewhere, I guess. Flight gear A320. Ah, there you go. Oh, nice. Very nice. I actually got gifted my MSFS too, by the way. MSFS is expensive as heck, man. I got that gifted too. So yeah. Flight gear A320. Flight gear is what actually made me fall in love with flight simming, you know. You didn't fly that for the graphics. No, you did not. Oh, you did not. Oh my word. Every airport looked the same. Every runway looks the same. You flew that purely for the experience. And flight gear was not forgiving. It was not an easy simulator. It's not something that's forgiving. You know, it's definitely, to be honest with you, I would say flying on flight gear is maybe better than MSFS in terms of how it feels. Probably, I don't exactly remember right now, but you know, it was a long time ago. flight gear is the OG. In fact, I had that installed when I managed to get my hands on this setup. I had that installed for old time's sake. I had to take a look at it. My old friend, you know what I mean? Yeah, the 777 there. Flight gear is definitely solid starting point. I heard even NASA used it. Yeah, it is not a terrible software by any means. It's not eye candy. Okay, that is all it is. It is not eye candy by any means. And it looks gloomy because of the inherent darkness in the graphics. You know, it looks like FSX in a way, or even older than that, no older than FSX even. It's got that gray out throughout, you know, it has that kind of look, and you know, the aircraft models look really funny in terms of the way they look, in terms of texturing and whatever. But if you're there for the flying, yeah, it's not a bad flight simulator at all to get started with. It is fairly complicated too. Graphics sucks, but your system depth and aircraft, especially some of them, are pretty solid. Yeah, they are. Considering it's all free, it's pretty good. And if you can master stormy landings in flight gear, if you can get your stormy landings mastered in flight gear, I promise you MSFS is going to be a piece of cake. Not X-Plane, but MSFS is going to be a piece of cake. X-Plane is too realistic, but MSFS, oh my god. If you can fly stuff properly in flight gear and you can nail those turbulent, stormy landings, forget about it. Forget about MSFS. It's going to be a game for you. I used to fly flight gear with, so I had the mouse pad, right? So I used to literally control the aircraft with the mouse pad. Now that was something else. Like if you move your finger a millimeter off to the wrong place, there you go. Imagine trying to do approach on a touchpad. That's what I used to do with a touchpad and the laptop keyboard. That's how I used to fly. The level of concentration you need to do that was something else. Like I would never be able to stream and talk while landing if I was doing that. No way. It was awesome though. It was pretty cool, to be honest with you. Last time I tried bad weather in FG, my aircraft drifted wildly to the left regardless of how hard right rudder I applied, and I got direct. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. Flight gear does not muck about. Flight gear does not mess around. Doesn't give a damn about your feelings, you know what I mean? Unlike MSFS, which is like if MSFS sees you trying really hard, it will just give it to you. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. When it comes to flying aircraft in MSFS, you try hard enough, it will just give it to you. There's no real landing in MSFS that's like so hard that it's, you know, no, I don't think so. But like there is an X-Plane. X-Plane, if you put on really bad weather and you try land something realistic like this MD-11 for instance, or something from Tollis, or the Flight Factor 777 or something, oh yeah, good luck. I've seen, to be honest with you, that is just rough. It's rough. Should use blade element theory for the next game as well. That's what. No, blade element theory is an X-Plane thing, right? MSFS does not care about flight realism. That's the thing. I've said this several times before on my streams. I feel like a broken record saying it again, but not to be a complainer, but I'm just saying. MSFS is not really a flight simulator. They don't really care much about realism. If you look at the default array of aircraft in MSFS and their default flight model, it is designed for people to get involved in flying and make flying more popular and whatever, which is great, don't get me wrong, but At the end of the day, that's not realistic. So, which is why when people need to make really realistic aircraft, they need to make their own flight model. They can't really use the default one. It doesn't work. X-Plane, on the other hand, has simulated the fluid really well. And so you can drop anything in there and it will function as it should. It's pretty cool. Yeah, blade element theory is pretty cool. Very cool, as a matter of fact. Especially if you put on the visualizations where you can really see it working in real time. It's pretty cool. It is an impressive software, to be honest with you. And they're not too bad in graphics as well, considering that it's meant for realism, right? But you can play MSFS in a more arcadey flight sim way. Yes, that's the thing. It's an arcadey flight sim game. It's an arcadey game. I mean, you've got the career mode, you know, and the career mode is the most unrealistic thing. Like it doesn't even make any sense. I've never opened career mode once, not once, and just the menu layout will tell you what Microsoft is going for. If you have the Aviator Edition and you see the career mode, it's advertised big. It's a big tile on the menu, whereas Free Flight is a tiny little sliver of a tile. They've got all the other ancillary stuff like Stranger Things activities and all that stuff as big tiles, and the Free Flight is a tiny little sliver right there. Because Microsoft, you make much more money from an arcadey, gamey thing than you do from a realistic flight sim, you know? Because you got... Let's be honest, it's not everyone's cup of tea to be, you know, sitting for hours and doing this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess it makes sense from a corporate point of view. I mean, it is Microsoft. They're not going to do anything that doesn't have massive profit in it, right? So, there you go. That's what it is. I'm a little bit down the middle. If I'm being entirely honest, I don't like the extreme arcadey stuff, but I like a balance, which is what I try to keep on the channel as well. You know, a little bit of foolish stuff once in a while and messing around, and a bit of arcadey. I think we need a balance of both, is what I feel like. It's what I feel like. So I enjoy both, to be honest. I'm glad that I have both of these. Yeah, it's a good balance. It is a good balance. However, that all being said, credit where credit is due, MSFS does have some really good add-on aircrafts that are absolutely incredible. Like the Black Square stuff. Anything from Black Square is fantastic in MSFS. Like, it feels realistic to fly even in MSFS. They've done a great job. Anything like the PMDGs are not too bad at all. Although I'm not entirely sure about them, because in X-Plane 12 the 737s are much different, but still, you know, they're not too bad. Phoenix is definitely amazing. Incredible. Yep, let everyone enjoy whatever they want. That's exactly what it is, man. Yep. Just like that. And, you know, it's nice that we have the option to switch as well. That's something that MSFS has as well. You know, if you want some realistic stuff, you can find some third-party add-on mostly, but if you want to arcade around, you can do that too. That's also fine. That's pretty cool. MSFS also has really great aircraft and graphics. It's just the physics and audience, yeah. But if you have a really good third-party add-on aircraft, then the physics problem does get solved, to be honest with you. A lot of real-world pilots have backed a lot of the models that have been developed as study level in MSFS. So yeah, I suppose if you do buy the right models, you can enjoy it, you know, as a realistic flight simmer as well if you want to. So nice balance there. Graphics are amazing. Especially if you put on a few add-ons in MSFS, graphics just go... Like, there are times when you really can't tell what you're looking at. It just looks so good. But X-Plane has its moments too, I have to tell you. Okay, I think we have chit-chatted our way towards top of descent. There you go. There's top of descent right there, which is fantastic. Let's go back to time 1 and 2, which is what I've just done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for it to descend. And to descend, let's go down to I don't know exactly what altitude I should go down to. Let me have a look. Yeah, I should go down to around 2,200 technically. So let me go down to 2,200. Let's go down to 2,200. There we go. What else do we need to do here? For now, nothing. Let's have a look at our approach. If we try to land at 35, should I land at 35 really quickly, or should I use the whole 50? It will cut quite. It will cut about 6 knots off the landing speed. I'll use 50 today. Let me just use 50 today. Yep. Let's descend. Top of descent coming up. It should automatically descend, so I'm waiting for that. See if that actually works. Bebem. We're still holding this. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah. That is interesting. I had to command that one. This did work for me previously, I believe, when I tried to do this. But anyway, nonetheless, we have begun our descent as long as the aircraft is doing what we need it to do, I suppose. I mean, every aircraft has its own particular behavior. It's impossible to fully understand all aircrafts. Especially if you're simming realistically, it's pretty difficult. MD-11 by Rotate is pretty good. Okay, since we are descending, let me go medium on the auto brake. No, let's go low on the auto brake. I'll leave this armed. Oh god. There we go. I'll leave this armed. Yeah, we are. Where are we going? What is going on right now with our aircraft? I've done something, haven't I? I've just done something weird with it. Ah, it's because of the flight restriction that we're doing this? Yep. It's because of the flight level restriction. We're not gonna make that. See that? We're never gonna make that. Yeah, okay. It makes sense. So what happened was SimBrief has given me a flight level that is way too high for this flight, and I should have applied my brain there and selected a lower cruising altitude, but the cruising altitude we've been flying at is too high. So the aircraft is we're gonna probably turn around, perform a nice little loop, and then go back in there. Because we've already reached the point where we're supposed to be at 10,000 feet and we're like 18,000 feet above that. So yeah, that is what's happening right now, I believe. Okay? I believe. I can't be too sure about it, but that's exactly what seems to be happening. Right? So I'll wait for the aircraft to descend nicely here in a kind of like a spiral format. There we go. Not entirely sure if an aircraft is supposed to just deviate from its course by itself, but that's what our aircraft is doing at the moment. I don't think I've pressed anything by accident, which is another problem I have in X-Plane 12. I keep pressing stuff by accident, so you can't be sure. Whenever I screw up the FMGS, I either just use direct to or hand fly my way past the faulty waypoint. What you gonna do? Yeah, that's true. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You mess something up in the FMG, what else are you gonna do? Just do that. You know what I mean? That's exactly what you should do. But in this case, I'm just curious to see what our aircraft is actually doing. You know what I mean? So let's just see what our aircraft actually ends up doing here. So yeah, this aircraft is behaving a bit odd at the moment, but I'm still curious to see what's gonna happen here. Still curious. Our nav is on, everything is on, but the aircraft has decided, you know what, sir? I'm gonna take you off course. Okay, do you, I guess, but okay, 21,000 feet makes sense. Still got 10,000 feet to lose, but I feel like we can turn back in. I thought SimBrief considers your aircraft limits when creating flight plan. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. SimBrief, for me at least, I try my best to use the correct profiles and everything as much as I can, but occasionally SimBrief is gonna throw a cruising altitude your way, which is gonna make zero sense. Completely zero sense. Like right now it said 34,000 feet. I didn't double check it. I just said, you know what, it makes sense. The MD-11, maybe it's good, it has good performance, whatever. But it was too high, to be honest with you. It at least where our aircraft calculated the top of descent, it didn't work. See what I mean? 34,000 direct to 10,000 feet, like it doesn't even make any sense. It's not exactly going to happen, is it? It really isn't. Okay, our aircraft now seems to be flying into nowhere. So we're supposed to be 10,000 here. So our aircraft has decided we're just gonna fly off in that direction, but I think it's time for us to turn back around. I'm gonna give it a bit more. I'm curious to see what the aircraft is doing at the moment. There you go. Interesting, isn't it? Okay. Come on. Just turn back around. Well, I don't think it's intelligent enough to know to turn back around. I don't think it's programmed that way. Well, from now on, I'll monitor my optimal cruising altitude with the program page more seriously than trusting the steps climb made by Sim. Yeah, look, you might not have that issue. If you've never had that issue on previous flights, then I don't think it's something to worry about. But for me, I do. I often have issues with it. This could also be an issue with the aircraft and the way how it's decided to calculate this, you know. Could also be that. Could also be the... Also remember, I have also changed, I've said a lot of alsos in there, haven't I? But I've changed some of the arrival and departure procedures as well. So it could also be on me. Who knows? That does happen a lot because I don't have Navigraph, you know. I wing a lot of my flight plans. So I don't really have access to the latest Navigraph or whatever. So I wing a lot of stuff based on little nav map. And that can cause issues. Anyway, that's enough of discovering what the aircraft is gonna go and do. I'm going to go back in here. I want my aircraft to turn back around now. This way. Come on, Mr. Aircraft. There you go. We'll loop back around and we'll come in. Let's try that. What altitude are we actually supposed to be at? 4930 2300. Yeah, we're okay. We'll be fine. Yep, we're okay. I think we're gonna be okay. So I'm just gonna turn this thing back around slowly. We still need to descend here though, so I'm just gonna use VS. 1500 please. Okay. Also need to slow down. What the hell is the aircraft doing right now? Look at that. 0.82 directly to 183 knots, and then what? Doesn't make any sense. What kind of a flight? What kind of VNAV is this, man? That doesn't make any sense. I guess we're going in manually until we're established on the ILS pretty much. So I'm gonna try and do that. Still at 15,000 feet. I'm flying parallel to Bebem right now. I'm gonna turn back in towards it. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Still very fast here as well. It's alright. We'll be fine. We'll start slowing down when we reach around 12,000 feet. We'll slow it down to 250 knots, but oh, look at that. We got some scenery finally. We can see some stuff. Yep. And I have to say another thing. X-Plane 12 from high altitude looks better than MSFS 2024. The ground, that is with AutoOrtho and SimHeaven. Correction. With SimHeaven and AutoOrtho, X-Plane 12 looks better at high altitude than MSFS 2024. Yep, I did say that and I mean it. I do mean it. That is what I've observed. Okay, this is turning out to be an interesting one. This is turning out to be an interesting approach. Yeah, that is a SimHeaven and AutoOrtho doing its thing. Again, not easy to set up, but I think it's worth it. It does. My eye is not healthy enough to check the instrument, but I suppose we use the deviation, lose some altitude. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The deviation was just to lose some altitude so that we don't come in hot and high, you know? Yeah, this is the last aircraft you want to come in hot and high on, the MD-11, which by default lands hot, meaning fast. It already lands fast, so the last thing you want to do is come high and fast using the MD-11. So that is exactly... The initial deviation was not commanded by me. The aircraft did it by itself, I suppose. I don't know why exactly it decided to do that, but you know, I'm glad it did. Okay, we need to slow down. So we really do need to slow down. Let me slow this aircraft down to 250 knots. I'm also gonna give it, I'll put it at 242. I'll give it full brakes here so we can slow down nicely. And I'll flatten out our descent a little bit so we can have a bit more time to slow down to 250 knots. Oh, we're gonna... Yeah, okay. Let me just come down here. I want to give myself a little bit of time to slow down there. Coming up on 10,000 feet. I'm gonna put that down there. There you go. Let's check the altimetric pressure. Where we are landing today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look. It is supposed to be 29.94, so just 2. There we go, that's done. Okay, looking good. I'm just gonna put it at 29.94. Okay, we've hit 10,000 feet pretty much, 240 something knots. And let's go ahead and descend. Now we can go ahead and descend. Put that back down there. There you go. Looking good. Go down at 1,200 and we can turn back around as well now. Okay, so let's turn this aircraft back around. Straight towards waypoint SWA. There we go. Right here. Oh, what have I just done? Ah, I should not have pressed the nav mode. My bad. Let me press it. Why is the nav mode behaving that way? Okay, I'm trying to go back this way. Gonna go towards heading mode. There you go. Can you leave the nav mode armed or no? No, you cannot. The aircraft is acting funny. It really is. That's okay. We're just gonna manually fly it. So let's go back down one more time. Let's go that way. Manually. Alright, we are making that turn. We have spent a lot of time in this deviation, to be honest. Almost as much as 1/3 of the entire route has been spent on this particular deviation. But anyway, it's a little fun to mess around once in a while, right? I don't think Rotate would have issues with the aircraft, but maybe the autopilot behavior might be related to some issues with the... Yeah, I don't think it's a bug in the aircraft anyway. I don't think it's a bug in the aircraft whatsoever. It's just some sort of autopilot behavior that I don't understand, you know what I mean? It's definitely something to do with the weird flight plan configuration or something like that. It's not a bug. I highly doubt it's a bug. It's definitely not a bug. It's just something to do with the weird way how the FMC is set up, or the immediate drop in altitude required, or the exact autopilot behavior of the MD-11. Could be a number of things. Alright, here we are. There we go. Ikata. We're going into SWA. Continuing our descent will be perfectly fine. Yeah, we'll be just fine. I hope the autopilot does catch nav mode once we line up. If I go to profile, what is it gonna do? Can I arm the nav mode? What is it gonna do if I try the nav mode again? Apparently nothing. Okay. It seems to be flying dead for SWA right now. Yeah, it seems to be flying dead for SWA right now on the nav mode. I think things are working right now. Yep, it's pretty much the altitude constraint. I believe we're too high, too fast. Yeah, it must have been the reason. I can't think of anything else. We're at 5,900 feet. Aren't we descending a little too quickly, little too early? For sure, I believe so. Okay, we're gonna see what the aircraft does. I'm gonna give it a moment here. I think we're back on track though. I think we're okay. Let's find out. No. Why is the aircraft making such weird deviations? Let's find out. It's flying towards Bebem, or is it flying towards... It's supposed to fly towards Bebem or what? What is going on right now? It's interesting. Yeah, our aircraft keeps deviating off to the left. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I don't know. For now, it seems to be okay though, so I'm just gonna leave it. What the heck is this thing doing? Let's find out. You know what? It will be a better option for us to do this. And then once the aircraft comes in a little bit closer, we can try, you know, nav mode one more time. Fun and a solution. You are right, it is fun and it is a solution. But I'm just trying to learn how the aircraft actually behaves, you know what I mean? That is what I'm trying to do. Completely hand flying an MD-11 is beyond me right now for this particular stream. I'm going to be honest with you, well, Phil. The problem is that I haven't flown this. It's only my second flight in months with this aircraft. Even in X-Plane 12, I haven't flown. I haven't been flying a lot in X-Plane 12. We've got some sort of gusting and shearing of wind right there. Yikes. So I don't think I can completely hand fly this. At least not without the auto throttle for now. And I do intend to use the ILS. I want to try and see if I can capture the ILS, you know what I mean? Maybe I should hand fly it, huh? Completely hand fly it from here? You want me to try that? Shall we try that? But that means that we won't be able to see anything. Oh, we're back in clouds. I won't be able to use any of the views. Look at that. We are completely in the midst of clouds and we can barely see anything. That is very nice. Isn't that cool? Oh, would you look at that? There's our landing gear. Man, that is crazy. Okay, let me jump back in here and see what this aircraft is up to. I think we're gonna have some rough weather in our landing. And okay. Why are we flying so slowly? Well, it's because of that speed right here. Anyway. I'm not going to drop the flaps any further because if I do, the speed is likely to drop again. So I know I'm not exactly supposed to be flying like this, but that's okay. Come on, why so slow? You know what? You might be right. I think it's time to take manual control of this thing. Should I try that? I'll try it. If it doesn't work, I'll switch it back. So I'm on AP2 at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the autopilot and I'll take manual control. So I can disconnect auto throttle from here. Yep, we're at 4.9k, exactly where we're supposed to be at Bebem. So the altitude is perfectly fine. It's holding for now at 4.9. You see that? So we're okay. We're exactly where we're supposed to be, but we're just flying extremely slowly here.
2500.
You know what? Disconnect auto throttle. As a matter of fact, I can just do... I just increase that speed here. I know we're not supposed to do that, but still. Let's go 250. We'll go 250. That makes more sense. We'll go 250. Let me go to nav mode now, and that should make sense. Let's try nav mode. What is the aircraft going to do now? Okay, I think it's best we continue right now. Let's see what the aircraft does once we reach near. Why aren't we reaching near this? It's taking so long for us to reach there. Good Lord. What is the distance on this thing? $23. 37 nautical miles to what? Oh, that's between those two. Okay, interesting. Progress page 2, BEBM, SWA. Oh lordy. Let's just see how this goes. We are incredibly slow and I don't know why. That is a hell of a deviation. It's not just that deviation, it's just we are really slow to get back on track. Like we've literally been suspended in air at this point. There we go, that's us. Oh, come on, Mr. Autopilot. What on earth are you doing? Okay, there's a break in the cloud. Yeah. Funnily, we do have a tailwind component right now, in a way. I mean, at least that's what it's telling me. It's telling me that's what's happening, but I'm not so sure. I am not so sure. Yeah, this is just crazy. I'm almost tempted to blow through the 215. Like, what is going on right now? Are we slowed down by any chance? We're not, right? No, everything seems normal. What the heck is going on? Why is it so slow? What? That is not possible. There's something wrong here. What on earth is our aircraft doing? Why is it so slow? The thing is, I can't even be sure because we don't have any visibility. I can't tell. This is so silly. Why is the aircraft so slow? Fast forwarding time just to check. Okay, fast forwarding time. Stopped. Well, I can't do, well, technically I can't do 300 knots because I'm under 10,000 feet, right? That's why we're stopping at 250. Oh, technically, right? Maybe this is not exactly. Maybe we should just gun it. Where's the runway? Runway is right here. Yeah, I can't keep up with this. I don't know what our aircraft is doing, but this ain't it. Yeah, the aircraft is behaving really weird right now. I don't know what's going on. The nav mode is definitely being weird. I'm just gonna delete this one from here. And that should help us out, maybe. I hope. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, although the restriction is there, I don't really mind breaking it, you know what I mean? I mean, you do what you gotta do, right? This thing is so slow. Okay, nav mode is working now. I just bypassed the BEBM waypoint. Nav mode seems to be working. This aircraft is painfully slow, man. This is just too slow. Can't do it. Yeah, I guess we're stuck with a painfully slow approach today. Why are we so slow? Our ground speed is 279 knots. But why does it feel like we're not moving? I don't get it. Kata is 30 nautical miles away. No, it's 28 nautical miles away. The heck? Distance between those two, 28 nautical miles. Yeah. I'm not going 28 nautical miles at 250 knots. That's crazy. I'm not doing that. Okay, I guess we're stuck, guys. I guess we're stuck. We're stuck flying this painfully slow approach. Going as quickly as I can. And we're stuck here. Great. This is going to take us another 15 minutes. Yeah, I need to fast forward time here. I can't wait for this anymore. Let's fast forward time. Let's just make sure that we fast forward time. Oh no, what did I just do? Oh god. I accidentally messed up my pilot's view. Yeah. Okay, we're increasing speed a lot to try and catch up here. Yeah, it is that. The distance between these waypoints are much bigger than what I thought. Yep, for sure. They are. But the thing is, according to our autopilot, we are supposed to be traveling incredibly slowly here. And I don't know why it says that. Because it's just too slow, man. I can't wait for that, you know, it's just too slow. Got 30 nautical miles at 250 knots. At like 4,000 feet. What is the point? It's way too slow. Way too slow. So now, until we reach somewhere closer to the ILS, we're just gonna fast forward this time here. And there's us wobbling around. Fascinating. Yeah, we don't have any visibility either. What kind of terrible day is that? We have a painfully slow flight plus bad visibility. That's not a good day, is it? You know what? Forget time speeding. Let's do straight up ground speed. Let's do straight up ground speed. Passengers nightmare, yeah. I'm just doing 8 times ground speed at the moment to try and reach these waypoints. I just feel like everything is slow. I don't know what is going on. Even for 30 nautical miles, this is very slow. Okay, let's just go 4 times ground speed for the time being. painfully slow stuff. Look at that, nothing to see. All the views are pretty much white. And there you go. That's all we got. Literally all I got. There you go. And there's nothing to see, everybody. We can barely see our engines and our wings at this point. Check that out. Nothing's going on. Absolument nada. Okay. Okay, at least we're here now. Excellent, 1-5, and we can see the runway there as well. Great. Now we can talk. Now we can talk about slowing this thing down, can't we? How about that? Yeah, I can now give it off to the autopilot. Once we reach here, we can stop with our fast forwarding, and we are also breaking out of the clouds there as well. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay, then we can talk. Okay. Still waiting for that to happen though, right here. Alright, done. Okay, we are back into the cockpit at normal rate now. At least we've got some visuals. There we go, as we come into Xiamen City. And the bad thing about this place is that in China there isn't much in the way of scenery, so everything is just flat. We can see this stuff because of AutoOrtho, but SimHeaven I don't think has a lot here. I think it's just gonna be flat ground everywhere, and that's gonna look pretty bad. But still, it already looks pretty bad. It's just flat everywhere. But yeah, anyway, it's not going to be a visual treat today. Back to FMS speed now, because everything I'm going to give it off to the autopilot, let it manage it. Let's find out what it's going to do. Okay, it's time for us to turn on our approach and landing. Oh my god, our nav radio. Do we have anything? IWF 110.30 course has been set. This should work. Localizer caught. Thank goodness. Localizer has been caught. Alright. Localizer has been caught. Brilliant. Glide slope has been caught. Time to drop our flaps slowly here. There we go. That should help us slow down. Okay, we're gonna need the help of the speed brake here. Okay, why am I retracting? It can't follow the autopilot if I do.
Stabilizer motion.
Do I have visual on the runway? Absolutely nothing. Flaps at 15. Yeah, you see that? In China, look at this. It's all just flat everywhere. There's literally one building here which is like a stadium or something. Everything else is just flat, and that is not good. Okay, we need to seriously drop flaps 28. Gear down. There we go, gear is coming down. Where's the airport? Ah, there it is, right ahead of us. There we go. Flaps 35. Everything here is set, everything here is set. Let's do runway turn off on. Let's do this on, why not? Anything else? Nope. Flight's been definitely one of a kind here.
Stabilizer motion.
Let's find out, man. Let's find out if it will be any lucky. Flaps 50. This glide slope does not look right to me. Yeah, look at that scenery. Everything is just too flat in China. It's a problem I have. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good. Anyway. Okay, it's under 1,000 feet.
Autopilot.
My aircraft. Do I have proper control over it? Not really. Yeah, I don't. Why is the flight director?
500.
Okay, I don't have any proper control over it. Oh my god, this is gonna be interesting.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Okay,
Glide slope. Glide slope.
don't worry about the glide slope.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
What glide slope are you talking about? We're way too high.
100.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
20. 10.
Okay. Okay. There we go. That was far from butter, but let's go check out that landing. In all honesty, I literally did not have the room on my throttle to even pull back any further than I did. So yeah, it was not trimmed right. My bad. Okay, let's go ahead, take this exit right here. The landing rate plugins, the problem is they never work properly. They never do. And I hate the way how they display it in the middle. It's kind of annoying for me. But I think I will try it. Okay. Let me go put the flaps up. I'll take a look into that for sure. Let's put our speed brake down. Yep. There we go. Let's turn this around. That off. Put those two off. There we go. No, this is not G-loaded camera. This is my G-loaded camera is actually off. This is XPRealistic. This is XPRealistic doing its thing. So yeah, it is not the G-loaded camera. The G-loaded camera for me is just too exaggerated. I don't like it. I do not like it. Okay, these are the cargo spots, but clearly that guy does not care. Looking for a cargo spot that can fit us. Yeah. There we go, we're gonna put ourselves in here. we go. There we are. Yeah, I guess the parking was alright. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, I'm not someone who looks a lot at the landing rate. As long as it's within an acceptable range, I don't really care too much. But yeah, let me see what, for example, Elevatics has a landing rate thing, and I have it running. Let me see what it says. It has recorded 2 landing rates for some reason. One at minus 381, one at minus 72. Like right now, it has recorded 2. Which one is right? We'll find out in the... it's more likely to be minus 300 something, isn't it? Yeah. But let's go ahead and take a look at that landing replay. Alright, here we go. Landing replay. That's good, man. My best is barely 400. No. So your ideal landing rate is somewhere between 100 and 250, I believe. That is the general ideal landing rate. You don't want to be... Actually, in practice, you don't really want to be below 100 because that is too smooth. You don't want to focus on a landing that's that smooth, because that's often going to lead to you landing probably floating down or maybe at a shallow angle. So between 100 and 250 is pretty good. 75 and 250 really is amazing, right? Okay, so let's see how this landing looked like to us. It's definitely not the minus 73. It cannot be. That was much harder than minus 73, I can tell you that. So for an MD-11 that wasn't too bad. For an MD-11 cargo, that was not too bad. The thing about this aircraft is when you're about to land, you have to pull like you're going for a go-around. That's the only way this aircraft will even respond to you. So kind of weird there. Let's go back, have a look at that one more time, and we'll look at some other views for the landing as well. Go ahead, take a look. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at it like this. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a hard, firm landing, but for an MD-11 it is what it is, you know. I'll take it. Okay, let's go back. Take a look at the views from this side. Yeah, that's a firm one. That's a firm one. Yeah, I guess our alignment with the runway was okay, but it's a firm one. Yeah, pretty good. I'll take it for now. Let's try one more landing here. From this view, and then we'll take one from the runway as well. Okay. Yeah, we had a bounce. That's why it recorded 2 landing rates, because we had that bounce. So that was a pretty hard landing, to be honest, but That will do. Alrighty, let's go a bit more behind and play that and hide that and go shift. There you go. There's us coming in low to the glide slope. There you go. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let me try that one more time. Let's play. One more time. Check that out. Yeah, a little bouncy there. But there we are. Yeah. Well, for an MD-11 cargo flight, I'll take it, right? I feel like, yeah, it was just an everyday run-of-the-mill cargo landing, pretty much. Nothing remarkable, nothing fantastic, but there's nothing terrible at all. Yep. Alrighty, there we go. Let's quit the replay mode right there. Let's unpause that. Let's come back in here. Yeah, when we come back from the replay mode, this is something that happens a lot with MD-11. For some reason. Okay, I have this issue. So yeah. Maybe it's one of the controls I'm using. But, you know. There you go.
Autopilot.
So this happens. So I'm not going to bother too much with it. We're just going to go parked with external.
Autopilot.
And that's it. That's pretty much it. Alright, we're going to leave it here. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty. So, hope you guys enjoyed that flight. That was an interesting one, but nonetheless. Oh, give me a second here. Alright, there you go. Yep, hope you guys enjoyed that flight. That was a pretty fun one. Thank you so much everybody who tuned into the chat. Who was there? Wildful, of course, and EM, thank you very much for tuning into the chat, man. Thank you for keeping me company all throughout the stream. That is much appreciated, Mr. Wildful. That's pretty cool of you. So yeah, see you soon, man. See you soon. If you're watching this stream and you're new to the channel, consider liking, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff that you can do on YouTube to support the channel. But yeah, we finally managed to complete this MD-11 flight as promised, and the landing was not too bad, so we're gonna take that one. In the next flight, I think I'm gonna have to jump over back to MSFS, perhaps? No, you know what? Perhaps I would actually have to do one more live stream here in X-Plane 12 rather than MSFS, and then we'll jump back into MSFS. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I shall catch you guys in the next one, and until next time, have a great day. See ya and bye-bye.